بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
May Allah's peace be upon you. Welcome to this second episode of A Muslim Thinks. I declare there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. We thank Allah for his gifts of mercy, guidance and his eternal truth. In the first episode, we examined ayat in the Quran that command the believers to believe in all the revelations. If you haven't viewed that episode yet, please be sure to do so. It may be worth viewing before viewing this one. Having a richer knowledge of what Allah has done, and is doing, does not take away from our faith as Muslims. The Quran is our guide, and we fully submit to Allah. There is only one God, and He has made a way for us to be with Him in paradise. In this channel, we believe it is possible to have a full belief in all the revelations, as we have them today. There is much to gain from understanding them all. It is our objective to examine how, having a deeper understanding of them, will enhance our knowledge of Allah's plan. It will help us to be better Muslims. In this episode, we will look at gaining a better perspective on the relationship between the Quran and the previous revelations. This will be important if we are to make sense of the differences between them, and to build a foundation upon which we'll be able to believe as Surah 2, Ayah 4, tells us we must do. So, generally, the most common teachings about the relationship between the Quran and the previous revelations support a position where the Quran is the last and final revelation. It is the only remaining revelation, since the original form of the previous revelations is believed to be lost. The Quran is, therefore, viewed as the complete and total revelation necessary for all people in the modern time. And since it confirms the previous revelations, there is no need for Muslims to know or study the previous revelations since the Quran contains all that a Muslim needs. The previous revelations were meant for an earlier time, but not for today. The problem, however, is the Quran itself does not support this position. As we've discussed in episode 1, the Quran commands all believers to believe in both the Quran and the previous revelations, with the same belief. We are to make no distinctions between any of them. It does this because there is something important we should know. Something significant is lost, if we do not read, or understand them. So, what could be so important, that Allah would command the Muslim believers, to believe in what He says in all the revelations? What is it that He wants us to know? The difficulty with these questions, is that the previous revelations appear to be very different. They also seem to be in significant conflict with the Quran. We've been taught that these differences are the result of corruption, and that unbelieving people have made it not possible for Allah's believers, to reliably know what He revealed in them. So essentially, it appears that Shaitan has won a major victory here, by hiding Allah's truth from us. But this is as absurd as it sounds. No one, and nothing, can overpower Allah in any way. I believe these issues can be better understood, when we look at the Quran and the previous revelations a little differently. Allow me to describe what I mean. The traditional view of all the revelations and all the many prophets, is to view them in terms of time. A straight line, is drawn down through time, starting with Adam, and ending with Muhammad. It includes the previous revelations, with the Quran at the end. Since the Quran is last on the timeline, it is given the most prominent place among them all, as the final revelation to man. What this view does not take into account, however, is the relationship between the two people groups, to which the Quran and previous revelations, were revealed. To understand why this distinction is important, let us look back to near the beginning of the timeline, at Ibrahim. Here, there is an important event, that will begin to define the difference between the two groups, and the different revelations. Ibrahim was a special believer. He had a believing and submissive heart, and he represents for us a submissiveness to Allah that we should all seek to have. Ibrahim's wife, Sarah, who, for a long time, was unable to provide Ibrahim with a child. So, Ibrahim took Hajar, the maidservant of Sarah, to be his second wife, and she had for him his first son, Ismail. Who, of course, was the father of the Arab people, from whom came Muhammad, our prophet. Later, Ibrahim was able to have a child with Sarah. He named him Ishaq and he was his second son. From Ishaq came Yaqub, who Allah called Israel. And from him came the Jews. Through the Beni Israel came many prophets, and to them, many revelations. These revelations are recorded in the Torah. Isa is the last prophet in the line of Ishaq, and to him was given the Injil, which was recorded by his followers. So, here we see there is not just one line, but two. One from Ismail to Muhammad, and one from Ishaq to Isa. We can clearly see there are two revelation groups, one to which the Quran was revealed, and one to which was given the previous revelations. There are also two last prophets. There is Muhammad as the last prophet in the line of Ismail, and Isa is the last prophet in the line of Ishaq, the second son of Ibrahim. Each was given a final revelation, that completes the line, and brings an end to the need for any further prophets. With this in mind, we can see more clearly why the Quran commands belief in not only the Quran but the previous revelations as well. Many prophets and many revelations were sent to ensure we could know all that is required. To read and understand only one, makes our understanding of Allah's plan incomplete and lacking. As Muslims, let us strive to understand the fullness of Allah's plan as revealed through all the prophets and revelations. There is much to be gained and learned. If it were not important, Allah would have said so. It is our objective through this channel, to explore how to do this as much as possible. If Allah permits, we hope to create episodes that will explore how we, as faithful Muslims, can successfully understand and believe in all the revelations, together, without conflict or contradiction. We believe that if Allah commands us to do something, there must be a way to do it. Please consider subscribing and joining with me on this journey. Let us learn to be better Muslims with Allah's help and guidance. Thank you for watching. And may Allah's peace be upon you all.